We've done 2 videos now about the Republic's forgotten clone troopers, and so I suppose it's only fair that we do one for droids as well. Droids operated on both sides of the Clone Wars. Obviously, many fought for the CIS, while other models worked for mercenaries or even the Republic. In this video, we'll be discussing the forgotten droids of the Clone Wars from both sides. Starting off, we have AZI-3, otherwise known as Fives' partner in crime. AZ was a medical droid from Kamino stationed in Topoka City, who met Fives when he returned to Topoka to watch over Tup. Fives was able to convince the droid to help him investigate the biochip conspiracy that he unearthed during his time there, and together, the two were able to discover the true nature behind Tup's tumor and the full extent of the biochip plot. Without AZ, Fives would have never gotten as far as he did, but despite this, he's been more or less forgotten. This is made worse by the fact that he was probably scrapped after the incident. May he rest in pieces.
We will compare the tumor's DNA versus that of Jango Fett, the original donor. If any tumor like this has been noted before, we will find it. The tumor, please. Nothing.
What?
The sample doesn't match anything found in the Jango Fett genotype. Furthermore, it is not even completely organic. It is foreign to the body. Someone implanted it there.
An implant? You mean this isn't an accident? Someone did this to Tup?
Speaking of heroism, next up we have R2-D2's squad of battle droids. These 3 reprogrammed B1 units were heroes of the Republic, and they never even got acknowledged for it. They even sacrificed their lives without so much as a second thought against overwhelming odds to allow the Citadel rescue team to escape, and none of the people that they saved as much as batted an eye. Even with their past as soldiers of the CIS, they did quite a lot for the Republic when you think about it, and they deserve recognition for it. When it comes down to it, these 3 stooges actually did more during the Citadel operation than anyone else on the entire team, including the Jedi. They were the ones who got the team past the planetary blockade, they were the ones who rescued Kenobi's team when they were captured, and they even saved R2 from being melted into scrap metal when K2B4 figured out that he was a traitor. And last but not least, they were the ones who selflessly sacrificed themselves purely to save the Republic.
We understand, sir. We will delay the enemy as long as possible. Prepare for attack. It was an honor to serve under you, sir.
Keep moving!
All for one and one for all.
Over on the separatist side of things, we have AforD, who you might remember as General Grievous's doctor. AforD was the only droid that got to give Grievous a hard time and survive, since he was required to make repairs to the General's body. He only appeared in one Clone Wars episode and a secondary story set during the Battle of Dorin, but is nonetheless a fairly memorable character, if only for his sarcasm.
Don't be upset with me, Master. If you were a better fighter, we would not be having this conversation. Look what you let those Jedi do to you. You're a walking scrap pile. What a mess. It's going to take me forever to get you back into decent shape. I'll go fetch your spare parts.
A more sinister separatist droid was LEP-86C8. An LEP servant droid that worked with Dr. Nuno Vindi. This little droid might have looked cute, but he was anything but. As I'm sure you all remember, he was actually tasked with ensuring the release of a deadly plague that could threaten life itself. He was in charge of the bombs with which Vindi planned to release the Blue Shadow virus on the galaxy, and though the Republic bomb squad sent down to stop him was initially successful, LEP-86C8 was ultimately able to detonate one inside the bunker, though the virus ultimately failed to kill any characters that had plot armor.
Planet.
Hey, you! Get away from there!
What was that?
Virus leak.
Our next entry might be taking this video's title a bit too far because, unfortunately for him, Kronos 327 was actually turned into scrap metal. Kronos 327 was an IG-86 assassin droid that worked for Zero the Hutt, and he was responsible for killing many of the Coruscant-based crime lord's rivals, which made him one of Zero's most favored droids. He did, however, eventually fail. He failed to kill one of Zero's rival Black Sun Vigos around the time of the Battle of Christosis, a failure that resulted in Zero ordering him to be scrapped. C-21 Highsinger is perhaps the most notable droid on this list, considering that he was fairly prominent in his sole appearance in the Clone Wars. Highsinger was a combat droid of unknown origin that, like AG-88, became an independent bounty hunter who worked with Boba Fett during the Clone Wars. Highsinger was incredibly agile in combat, handled a variety of weapons, and was even capable of a spinning maneuver akin to the one most famously used by General Grievous on Hypori. It's a shame that we didn't see more of him, though apparently we were supposed to, as he was supposed to be a companion in Star Wars 1313.
Hey, boss.
Boss, this is your boss. You got a problem with that? My name's Boba, and this is Highsinger. Hey, boss, you better get down.
Next up, we have Rousso ISC, the only droid you'll ever see that wears sunglasses. Rousso was an investigator droid that helped Anakin and Ahsoka in the early stages of the investigation into the Jedi Temple bombing, and while he wasn't truly wearing sunglasses, the implication is obvious, and so it counts. Aside from being responsible for analysis during the investigation, Rousso was also responsible for some of the best lines delivered from a droid in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Quite obviously, he was inspired by CSI Miami, particularly Horario Crane, who was played by David Caruso, hence the name.
This is all that remains of Jakar. Sam? The rest of him exploded.
Because he was so close to the bomb?
Because he was the bomb.
Albie D-War was not any known droid model, but he was the identity assumed by a group of Pitroids on the planet Balnab. These Pitroids use holographic technology to manipulate the local sentience for their own amusement, or at least they did so until R2-D2 exposed them. While these Pitroids weren't the first to use holograms to pose as organics, see G0T0 from Knights of the Old Republic 2, they were probably the first to do it for fun.
Not real?
I'll show you not real.
Hey, what are you doing back here?
I said, what are you doing back here?
Back where?
Help you? We're not. We're not gonna help you. We worked hard to keep these mindless organics enslaved. And if you want to order someone around, get your own organics. Oh yeah? And just how is an astromech unit going to make our loyal subjects rebel? Uh-oh.
Oh my.
Hey, get him!
Our final entry is a bit more obscure. In fact, it actually comes from the original Star Wars Clone Wars micro-series. The L8L Man battle droid was created by Taggy Co., a loyalist corporation that would later become a major backer of the Empire. Taggy Co. built the L8L9 to be the basis of a droid army for the Republic. That's right, just as the Separatists grew their own clone army, the Republic nearly built its own droid army. The L8L9 was a pretty formidable unit, equipped with heavy armor, flamethrowers, precision cutters, and plasma cannons, which made them more than a match for standard CIS models. They originally performed quite well in tests, and might have even supplanted the Republic's clones in the Grand Army of the Republic were it not for Asajj Ventress. Unfortunately for Orman Taggy, the contest that he entered the L8L Man prototype into as a display of its performance was on Rat Attack, in the same Rat Attack-y battle arena that Asajj Ventress attempted to prove herself to Count Dooku. Originally, the L8L Man proved to be a frontrunner, but once Ventress entered the fray, the show was over, and the idea of a Republic droid army evaporated. So, those are 9 droids from the Clone Wars that have more or less been forgotten, and as per usual guys, I want to know what you think. Do you think we missed out on any droids? Do you reckon we could make a part 2 of this? Let me know in the comments section below. And just before you head off guys, you know the go, make sure you check out our Geetsly's gaming network if you want to join the wider Geetsly's community and play with us on Gmod and Roblox. Our games are constantly expanding and constantly upgrading, so make sure you join other Star Wars fans and fun games. All those links are in the description below. And I also just want to quickly thank all my patrons. You guys are helping out the channel so much. So if anybody wants to join my Patreon gang and join our special behind the scenes Discord, make sure you check out that link in the description below as well. Anyways guys, as always, thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.